If you're here this early, my honest advice to you, my honest, truthful advice to you, turn around, walk away, don't come back. This ain't the one that you want. You came to the wrong one. But in all seriousness, hope you guys are doing well today. I'm having some mild technical difficulties where my thing is not populating correctly. There we go. There we go. How's it going, you guys? Blake here for the Low Regret channel. And we're going to go ahead and continue. It's been a while since we've done some GT4 on here, so we're going to continue some GT4 in our G4. Feel and fly like a G6. Oh wait, wrong day, wrong time, wrong era. Anyway, I was trying to figure out what races we were going to do next on this playthrough. Got 10 cars in the garage, and that's kind of dictating where I want to go next. I don't want to spend money if I don't have to. But you can also see that we have quite a bit of money. We got 900k in the bank thanks to the Mille Miglia that we did early on in the playthrough. Panned out well for us. And realistically, I think that Skyline that we have would also be really good for 4-wheel drive challenge, but I'm going to hold off on that for now. I want to see if this Ginetta will do well in the FR challenge. It might not. Let's see. I hit the brake on accident. You got to make sure you don't hit the brakes. Anyways, what's going on? Hope you guys are having a fantastic Tuesday. I am trying to stay alive here. I just basically passed out not too long ago. And no, not like passed out. Just took a big old nap. But, yeah, feeling pretty solid about everything. So I think we are going to probably go ahead and get started with the FR challenge. I do want to try FF, but I don't know if I have any cars that are like fast enough for that. We're going to try together. Oh, I already did 4-wheel drive challenge. That's done. I don't think I have anything stout enough for MR challenge. And I certainly don't have a sports truck with which we can do the sports truck race. We have the Midget and the Midget 2, but I don't think either of those qualify as sport trucks. We can't handle the power. The almighty Daihatsu. It would just be too much. Too much for them. The for real challenge. The for realsies challenge. What's going on, my friend? You know what? I do owe you, because we spoke on this. I asked you some very specific questions not too long ago in the privacy of our own group, in the privacy of our own message thread. I do want to get into some GT2 A-Spec as well. I need to figure out how to get that running on my stuff. Part of my little spiel today was to try and investigate what I could do to get Spec 2 running on here. And I'd have to use an entirely different game version for this. Though I'm not certain if the save data would cross over directly or not. Either way, I'd want to keep it separate because I genuinely have not completed... I'm not 100% completed GT4 in earnest before, so I want to do it with a vanilla. And then I'll probably do GT2 A-Spec. And then I'll come back to GT4 Spec 2 at a later point. But before that, I'll probably also do Tokyo Extreme Racer. I've been talking a lot with Rakamaka, and you know, he's had a big focus on kind of having like more story-driven games and RPGs and stuff. And I think that having something where there's like a defined progression, where you can actually go in and have a pretty good sense of what all needs to get done to like make solid progress through the game is really valuable. And that's not something that I usually do. I'm usually playing online against people for the competitiveness of it all, the competition. And that's awesome, except that there's no real defined endpoint with any of that. You're not making like definitive progress, it just kind of is. Whereas with this, you know, like I'm pushing toward a goal, that goal being 100% completion of the game. And with Tokyo Extreme Racer, 100% completion of the game. With GT2 A-Spec, 100% completion of the game. So that's what I want to really start doing more of. And so I think that's going to be super cool. Gotta balance that checkbook. Rev up those fryers, because I sure am hungry for some help. Help! Anyways, I've been prattling on enough now. That's usually the sign that we're getting ready to start. Those are the famous last words of driving. You know, it's also the famous last words, 200-point race. That means that it categorically cannot get much harder for you. Categorically, it cannot be much harder than 200 points. Oh, and I have my shifter hooked up too. You know what I don't have hooked up? Force feedback. I have absolutely nothing. I think I would have to actually restart to do that. But I'm going to do this race first. We're going to see if we can actually hang. Which, surprisingly enough, it seems like we were actually, to a certain extent, hanging. And then we're going to save. Then we're going to go out. We're going to come back in. And we're going to rerun it. Because why not? You know, I got to admit, I really wanted to do GT4, and then I looked up Rowdy doing his playthrough, and that made me just want to do GT4 even more. You can see we're getting gapped pretty definitively by all the other cars on the straightaway. There's a SL500 along with that RX-7 and a couple other cars up there. We'll see if we can make some headway, though. I believe that we can honestly finish not last. Because I really do not have many powerful cars right now. And I could just quit being a tightwad and buy something. But where's the fun in that, you know? You gotta work what you got. And you're supposed to be in class, but you're not going. You just want to chill on the couch. See what's on television, because I'm not going to leave the house. Anyways, there's 6.4 seconds off the lead. That's usually not a promising sign on GT. I can't get around this Mazda, and I certainly don't have the straight line speed to do so. But again, our goal is just not last here. We just do not have the oomph to stick with these guys. We're missing that little something. Sucks. Also, I miss Seattle Circuit so much. What an iconic track. So yeah, there's just no way. There's just no way we're gonna be able to hang like that. But I do still want to. I still want to finish the race at least. I want to see if we can honestly get not last. I know this has nothing to do with the 100% challenge. I mean, I didn't come here to give up so easily, as it were. And that's the issue, is that a lot of my cars, like, they're all really right around that 100 horsepower mark. Like, there's really nothing special about any one of them. Oh god. I literally don't even remember what the first car we bought was. I am struggling to recall. Yeah, this is struggle bus if I've ever seen it. Couldn't quite hang. It happens. Comes with the territory. The Ganetta, I am a masochist. You know it. You know it. I live for this shit. Good to see you in the chat. Who cares? Anyway, that's that. We're not gonna stick around. Alright, y'all. Well, with that said, stream's up. No, I'm kidding. Don't leave. Don't you hit that button. No, I am going to restart the software really quick. I'm gonna actually have it save the in-game day, just because I feel like you do it for the posterity. You know, I want it to be an honest and true account of events. Plus, we want to unlock some tracks too. Never hurt. So give me 1 sec to close this out. That's not what I wanted. You did what now? You're disappointed? I can sense all that disappointment over there. Yes, I did in fact come in last place. The Sagittarius. The sorrow. Yeah, no, I just didn't have enough car for it, so I guess gotta do better. That's all that is. I do think I have a better car. I just don't know if I have a significantly better car. Piazza would be at least a little more powerful. But I don't think that's gonna solve the problem. Yeah, I don't know. I think we are at an interesting impasse where I'm actually going to start like trying to upgrade some stuff if I want to make any progress whatsoever, which I think is fair. That's a fair statement. Or just buying cars, period. Which, if that's the case, let's go see what's in the used car lot because we got some cash to burn. Let's go see what the 90s has to say about this problem. We got a CRX NSX for 28 grand. That's really not a bad option. Point blank period. 1990 Honda NSX, 28 grand. Kinda can't do a whole lot better than that. FCRX7. A lot of the sad fact is that a lot of these are already immediately better than what I have. So yeah, I wish that was not the case, but sometimes you just gotta admit the truth. So FD is like 15 grand, and the FC is like 8. Why am I being thrifty? I don't know. I don't know. I like the FD more than the FC anyway. Besides, if you're gonna buy a car, you want to make sure you get the most maximum usage out of it that you can. Is there an 80? There's not an 80 sports car cup, I don't think. Oh, no, there is. There is. I'm lying. I lied to myself. Regardless, I do think I'm going to go with the FD... Oh, shit. FDRX7. I'm going to check all the car lots first, but I'm going to see what's up. So, Evo 1. For less than 10 grand. That's a good deal, honestly. Sylvia's, there's an FTO. The other thing is I don't need to be perfect. I just need something. So yeah, NSX looks like a good deal, and the RX-7 looks like a good deal. I'm gonna need a rotary later anyway. So yeah. Yo, what's good, Foj? It's all about the FB. What you know about that? So, I'm kidding, I know you know. I'm trying to see if they have it here. Let's find out. They do not. Chillin'. I like it. Though the issue is if we buy the RX-7, we won't be able to use it for the one-make race until later. Which is fine. Not really a huge issue. What else do we need? We need a good FF car. We need a good MR car. And we need a truck. We desperately need a truck regardless. And I don't think there's any way for us to really get a truck other than buying one, so I may as well just go ahead and invest. There might be one event that gives out something. But I'm struggling to think of what it would be. Oh, no, no. I think you're thinking of Spec 2. This is the vanilla GT4 game. I do want to do Spec 2. It looks like it's a really robust and just, in general, well set up, like, labor of love kind of mod. But I am just going to focus on getting through the vanilla game first. This is the OG, yes. Some interesting cars in here. Nothing that I'm, like, supremely drawn to. But there are some interesting cars in here. I do kind of want the Cobra, but 37K for that is kind of steep. I might pay it anyway, but I mean, it's kind of steep. Also, the Renault Sport. Is there... would there be any situation where I would need an NSX for a specific race? And B, is there a one make for Renault? I have not done a good job of pathing. I think we do it. I think we play those silly reindeer games. We do it. So I'm gonna buy that car because why not? I'm gonna need it to be fast. It's not going to be a stock Clio, but I think we are gonna go for it. Wherever it was, 25 grand. Not thrilled with that price, but could be worse. It's a damn good car, if you ask me. 2000 model year. The classic. I want to say the 2003 model year one is like better, but still. Well, I'm not really here to argue all that shit. This one is a more classic interpretation. There's an Evo 7 too. Shit. Pro strats. Don't try it at home. Yo, thanks for coming over to the Twitch stream, Radicalons. Good to see you. Thank you for the follow as well, and hopefully we'll be getting you in for more of these streams. Like I said, I was doing a lot of stuff where it was also just like online racing, iRacing stuff, GT7, but I'm trying to do more where I'm like focusing on specific completion stuff, so I'm going to be revisiting this playthrough quite a bit until we can actually get that 100%, and then we'll move on to something else. Keep something in the rotation. Chamber it up all the time. Is it bad that I still want an NSX? Kinda. I'm actually gonna buy. I'm gonna buy this RX-7 too. This looks like a good deal. This looks like a great deal, as a matter of fact. Maybe not the most premium of premium, but I think it's a good deal. Yeah. Also, like for all the people who are on YouTube, I'm sorry if I'm missing chat. I'm terrible with all the things and all that. But that's mainly because my chat window is like having like the biggest of moments. I don't think there's anything else I'm really gonna buy right now. I do want to see what's in historic, but I don't think there's anything else I'm gonna actually buy. I'm gonna try and just catch as many of these good deals as I can, of things I'm gonna need for later. But I think for right now I'll be fine. A Z would not be a bad idea though. We're gonna need one for later. Z32, 1989. I don't know. It's only 250 horsepower. I might pass on that one. I might not. I kind of like it. Actually, yeah. No, I say go for it. I say we go for it. But I'm going to pick the RX-7 over it. The fortunate part is that we gained so much money from doing the 1,000 miles event early on that we don't really have to worry about money. What a luxury to have. Anyways, gotta do oil change, car wash, since this thing's got... Look at all that brown oil, that garbage, trash tier oil. Gotta get that on out of her. Beautiful. Fresh. Oil man spitting over here. GT guy gets his hydration for the day. Go ahead and wash it up too, because why not? Got the hydro. And then he multiplied simultaneously, and now they're going to phase into the ether. I love how they just disappear from existence. Like, we don't need him. He's not there. He was never there. Yeah, well, I think that actually solves a lot of problems right then and there. So let's go ahead and try our RX-7, see if it does anything. Oh, right, sorry, wrong one. Does washing do anything in like any game? I think it does. It's more like a drag reduction mechanic. It makes the car shiny, make it look good. But like, it's not going to do any serious amount of performance. Give any serious amount of performance, if I'm not mistaken. The only place you're going to really see it give anything is like on test course, where like the car is like just, you know, hitting the aerodynamic limit of what it can do. Let me go and make sure the assists are off. Oh, we should have plenty of tires for this too. Who puts the traction control all the way at 7? What is this? Amateur hour? I'm kidding. You just spam wash your car to waste credits? Who? Get this guy out of here. Get this guy out of here. I'm gonna time you out. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, 94 points. We can do that. This is a set of conditions that we consider acceptable. All right, yeah. Okay, we have force feedback. We're good. This is how this was actually supposed to start off earlier. Oh yeah, we got this one covered. It's crazy how having, you know, almost triple the horsepower changes the dynamic of the race just a little bit, you know? You'd never guess. You'd never imagine. Getting brake checked by an S2000. What a life. I remember when I used to play these games when I was younger, I felt like the S2000 was either like bigger than I thought it was or smaller than I thought it was. But I feel like it just has that perfect sense of proportion when you see it in reality. It's well sized, even if it's a bit overblown in terms of its reputation. You know, it's also overblown. My idea of where the front bumper is. I have no context clues. I'm doing bad. So we're gonna go here. Yeah, this is a little bit easier to work with. There we go. Oh, I forgot I have my shifter hooked up still. So I don't have to use the paddles. I can just gear up, gear down with my sequential shifter. A little more organic. There we go. Alright, yeah, this thing, it's funny, didn't really touch, I just oil change, car wash, and boogies. It boogies down a lot harder than I expected it to be honest. We might have to do a little bit to it once we start getting into the point of doing rotary races and probably further stuff on the save, but we'll get there when we get there, you know? Let's just enjoy the car in its stock form while we can, because it won't be forever. I also want to put a lot of focus on building cars to a specification, to a high standard on here. Like, I want, in as many opportunities as possible, to be building these cars from the ground up. Not like Forza Motorsport from the ground up, but like actually meaningfully good, you know? I want better than your... I want you to do better than your best. I want you to actually do good. That's what I want my cars to do. So that's what we're going for. Meanwhile, we are taking them to Gapplebee's. So if this is going to be the standard of racing, then we're either going to let B-Spec Bob handle this, or we are going to switch over to the Nissan. And I think we're going to work in that order. If B-Spec can handle this race with this car, fantastic. Because it means we can get through it faster. If B-Spec can't handle it, we'll go to the 300ZX and see if that's any better. Any closer of a race. And or we can get more A-Spec points. Because that's also a win. We want to try and go for the maximum amount of A-Spec points on every race that we can. Not that it really matters, but I mean, you know, let's have some fun while we're at it. 94 might be a bit of a push for the B-Spec driver, though, for being real. Like, if I'm trying to get them to win 94-point races, they might honestly fail pretty miserably at that. Ooh, alright. Yeah, this would be really interesting if we had it on actual like road tires, but I am not to worry about that right now. Though I wonder, I'm sure someone here in the chat knows, so if you know the answer to the question, let me know. But does changing the tires on the car affect the A-Spec point value that you would get from the race directly, or is it more just the performance envelope of the car itself? Because obviously, you know, in later games, it would be one of those things where it would directly affect performance points or whatever. But does it affect anything here with A-Spec points? I want to know. Alright. Alright. Let's try it out. Like, can we do it? Come on, go for the pass. Go for the pass. Oh, he's not doing it. I am disappointed. It's only the power to weight ratio, you think? Okay. I am disappointed. How are you only in 5th, my dude? I know you can do better. Yeah, there you go. Send it. Send it there. Good stuff. That's what I like to see. That's what it's all about. However, we're not done. We still got plenty of work to do. It seems like they're having a much better time pushing this than some of the other cars I own. You saw, I honestly, like, I wouldn't say anything was a shit box that I previously owned, but I kind of had some shit boxes. Ooh, really, really trying to go deep there. All right. Come on. Let's go for third at least. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, nothing doing there. What a shame. We tried. Alright. With that said, I think I'm going to go ahead and try and jump in the 300ZX and see if I can handle this myself. Because this should be an easy dub if I take it. If I try it now. Actually, I'm going to do this with the RX-7, but I'm going to do the next one with the 300ZX. I think that'll be more interesting. This is also a 93-point race. I think the Z4 is the fastest car here. But P4 is honestly not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Let's show them how it's done. Did not leave me much room there. Wasn't exactly easy to see from on screen, but kind of has left me like no room at all. As the GT4 AI tend to do, they kind of tend to be mildly erratic and also quite disappointing. From downtown, baby. So yeah, like we said, 93 to 94 points was a bit too much for them to overcome. They didn't quite have it like that. It's interesting that we only got about as much straight line grunt as a Z4. I guess I should have expected about as much. That's the thing I like about GT4 is that, like, if you play it right, it's really, really fun to the bitter end. And there's a lot of ways to kind of break the progression that are pretty well documented up to this point. And, like, for me as a kid, I absolutely needed every bit of those in order to actually, like, have fun and enjoy the game and get to the later stages of it. But to, like, now really challenge myself and push myself and say, hey, I'm going to go for maximum expect points. I'm going to go and try and get everything I can off of this thing. It changes the dynamic of the game quite a lot. And it really adds an extra layer of depth and complexity if you're willing to, like, not min-max everything. Let me try and go for a fast lap here. This is a 107.1. I think we can get down to like a high 105. Just trying to be smooth and get the car to arc nicely through the corner so we can get on power early. It's funny, it feels very stiff on braking, but like you'll find that like it brakes very fast. So like the amount of grip that you have available to use at any given moment will change very quickly. Sort of like there, but also I was clearly trying to overshoot the corner until I scrubbed it off and then all of a sudden had enough grip to make it. You know? I don't know if that makes any sense. And also not having the traction control and stability management on, huge, huge difference. Ginormous. And come in from the outside. Okay. Not the best, not the best at all. Could have easily been a 106. Oh well. That is life. It's life and you can't practice. Anyways, you gotta enjoy these races while you can. This is probably going to be one of the playthroughs where I'm most inclined to sell cars, though, because I think it's going to actually be helpful. Because I'm not doing things that are like, oh, well, I have a super OP car that can do 80 to 90% of the crap that I want it to. And win most of the races that I need it to. So, I'm excited to kind of play a little different. Back when GT4 came out, a friend of mine was a German champion in Need for Speed. Wow. Him and me took a Tommy Kyra, went to midfield and min-maxed the crap out of it to beat each other's times. We even experimented with camber and everything. And it was really fun. Yeah, this is the best shit. Like, I remember doing things like that with my brother, where you're really going for it. You're trying to see exactly what you can get, and you're trying to find not only the best stuff, but the most fun stuff, and just like really messing around with what the capabilities of the game are. And like that's what my whole childhood was kind of built on. Was on the weekends, you know, just trying to see what was possible in a lot of ways. Where is that? There we go. Yeah, I do think we're going to need a better front-wheel drive car, too. Like, if I look at my lineup, I think I only have one. We could probably get a front-wheel drive car from somewhere or something. So actually, there's not that many beginner events that are left. Like, full stop. There are not that many beginner events left. We're going to have to start looking at all of these one makes, because I think all the event halls also don't have many races that you can't do without any kind of license. And in case you guys weren't aware, I don't have a license right now. I'm driving without a license. Don't fucking tell the police. But I'm driving without a license, and we're gonna go get our B license at some point. But I want to do everything that we can do without a license. So like, I'm gonna have to go buy more cars and do more things and mess around with more stuff. But that's kind of the fun. And I'm surprised that like actually like excuse me. I thought this process was going to take longer to get through all this stuff, but it's actually pretty organic. Like, we're probably at least halfway through, if not further, on all of the possible events you can do without a license. I'm sure that's not even time with the music. I'm sorry, y'all. Special Stage Route 5. Oh, for all the time I haven't seen this track. They just don't make them like this anymore, you know? You know what I'm saying? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I'm sorry. I had too much sugar today. But I really appreciate you guys being here. And this thing is not that much less powerful than the RX-7, which I should have known. I also don't think I did car wash or oil on it, so I will do that after this race. But let's just get through it for now. 134 points. That's better than 94 points. Let's make hay while the sun shines and all that. I like this because I'm actually starting to make like solid progress through it, whereas like doing the 1,000 miles races felt like I was never going to make progress through the game at all. But now I have way more money than I could possibly need. And like the funny thing is that yes, I was definitely a bit too fast for that race, but I don't feel like I did anything that was quote game breaking. I still had to upgrade the Janetta to make sure it was going to be good. I still had to dodge and make sure I didn't get the Cobra in that lineup. A lot of things I had to do to really just be mindful and smart. And I actually wouldn't mind doing that race again with the same car, same everything, when the AC Cobra shows up. Or maybe just one of them, I don't know. 2 of them. I would do 2 of them. I'll say I would do 2 of them. Because there are 4 total races, but they take like 3 hours apiece. However, I don't think I'm going to do that one on stream, because I feel like that would be, like... It was slick torturous to do it on stream. Because it just got to the point where, like, once I got into a good rhythm, and I established how much faster I was in the cars around me, it got to be pretty boring pretty quickly. Also, Will, there's your Mercedes. The only Mercedes you ever loved. See, you gotta leave the space. And like, granted, I stuck my nose in there, but you gotta leave the space, man. Kind of getting shit on by this lady. Does this thing have 5 gears? It does, okay. Oh, did it backfire too? That's hot. We always love a good backfire. Oh yeah. Oh, sexy. Anyway, back to your regularly scheduled program. This is a more interesting race, though. Like, I'm having to fight a little bit more for it against this lady just to stay in the hunt. You know what? It reminds me of the hunt. Turns me on a little bit. Anyway, you didn't hear that. Brother-in-law restarted. I'm sorry, my eyes are having a moment. Old 280D Benz. That thing is gorgeous. Dang. I haven't seen an old Benz in a minute. I had a few in my family. My mom and my mom's mom both really enjoy their Mercedes. And we've been kind of in that brand family for a long time, too. But I don't think I've seen anything older than like a 1990s C-Class. Like it was like a C240 or something. Like the older ones where there was really a lot of substance, styling, and it was just a pure luxury car. Hit different. They hit differently. Yeah, it's the lady who was fighting me. No. How is it saying 276 here, but... Oh, it might be the way that it's, like, advertised? I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I thought I had an answer. I don't have an answer for you. Still, if you floating around there in Germany, gotcha. I really want to go to Germany sometime in the future. My boss at work got to go on basically a trip across Europe. And he went to Zandvoort, Spa, he went to the Nürburgring, and he went to Monza. All in the space of like 2 or 3 weeks. And I was like, damn, like, if I had any kind of money that I could just like burn in a fire pit, or any kind of money that would be sufficient to do that, I wouldn't even think about it. I would just do that. I would go and enjoy the culture. You know? Go and become a bit more of a worldly person. Anyways, since the GT guy did us so well previously on the last one, we're gonna give him some more play. As he again phases into the ether. Yeah, it is a toll road. You say you can just show up there and pay and ride that thing. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to do. But I feel like, as an American, no, I'm kidding. But I would need to get a car and procure all of that, so it takes a little bit more. But I do understand that, like, it's not as expensive to do a lot of that stuff as it would be natively here to, like, rent a car for track day uses. You just gotta, you know, understand how the systems work. Whereas out here, even if you want to do like a basic track day on your local road, you're usually paying upwards of like $1,000 or $1,200 if you don't bring the car with you. Which, if you're asking me, bring the car with you. Like, No reason not to. Holy crap, it looks like a Neversoft PS1 model of the GT guy. I'm not going to actually put a wing on this, but it's interesting to see it. Yeah, a wing is strongly recommended to achieve good looks. You gotta get clout, you know? You gotta get that clout for your wang. Anyways, speaking of local tracks, we're gonna head up to Laguna Seca. Though I think just by, doing the oil change and the car wash, it's now going to be slightly less of a tough race to do. So, yeah, it went from, well, I don't think that's an organic shift. I think the car roster affected the A-Spec points numbers. However, I also think that us putting a little more power in it did help. Orange Life on Monday until Thursday per lap, €30. Friday and Saturday and public holidays, €35. Okay. Yeah, that's nothing. And that's per lap, you said? Yep, it is. Just gotta read. Gotta use my eyes to read. Oh, we got a Skyline GTST. We gotta show them that we're not afraid of no ghosts, or no GTRs, or GTSs. I'm gonna try and race them clean, though. Since we're so superior, since we're just the better driver here, we're just gonna race them clean. Okay. See, but you try and race them clean, and then they just squeeze you out to oblivion. Like, I got a nose in, and then just turned down on me. What a rude dude. Okay, this is actually going to be difficult if I try and race them clean, because they will just balk me at every possible opportunity. Just funny, but also, like, bump that. It's like, did you see how much they slowed down for that corner? It's comical. It's like racing online, like noobs on GT7. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I mean, not really, but... Because, like, the situational awareness is, like, similar levels of low. Meanwhile, I'm getting pulled on by an S13. This is interesting. This is interesting because they have enough performance to keep up with me, because they're in faster cars. No, actually, I'm supposed to be heading up to Virginia at some point next month. Got some relatives up there, and one of them has an LS swapped 300ZX, as a matter of fact. So basically this car, but with a LS engine in it. And I think largely stock drivetrain and everything. But it's like a 300 or 400 horsepower car, and it gets down. It boogies down. So I'm hopefully going to try and check out the track and maybe get a ride with them. Broaden my understanding. Use it as a good opportunity to learn more. Speaking of learning, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to shameless plug here. I do offer driving instruction courses specifically catered around GT7, but if you have any specific software that you want to like start improving on, getting a little bit better, particularly beginner to intermediate level, and you want some help trying to uncover your pace potential, I do have a whole marketplace dedicated to that. I'm going to have probably a command set up for Nightbot in the future, so that there'll be a link that goes right to my page, and you can just click on that and book your services. It's just I'm trying to think. I think if you search Little Regret 265 on there, it should pull my page. But if not, you can also just search Blake Phillips. My name will come up. That's me. Hit me. Okay, yeah, it's saying the same horsepower number. That's interesting. But I know it probably gained like 10. Okay, and then one more race in the FR Challenge and we'll be good. I really want to go and check the event halls and see if there is anything else I'm missing that we can do after this. Because it's this, FF Challenge, MR Challenge, and then Sport Truck. And that's all I can think of. There might be an opportunity to get Sport Truck, or to get... Dude, this track is going to suck with this car. But yeah, I need to check and see what else is possible, what's available. So we're going to do it. Also, I shouldn't have got the 2-seater. I should have got the 2x2. I'm okay with 2 doors. 2 seats, not so much. You gotta still be able to comfortably fit 4 people, you know? Or else what are you really doing? Even my race car was still capable of fitting 4 people. Well, it was. Now it kind of actually can't even hold 1 person. There are no seats in it at the moment. But that'll change. Speaking of, I'm realizing that I made a critical error when I was building my car. I bought a aftermarket steering wheel, which I actually have literally to my right. I bought this steering wheel, which I'm not sure why I'm holding this up while I'm driving, but here we are. And I realized today that they don't make an installation kit specifically for my car because basically the airbag is like integrated into the steering column, and that's a problem for obvious reasons. Like, we took the airbag out, but like the deployment mechanism is integrated into the steering column. So there's kind of nothing doing with that, so I have to actually get like an adapter for my entire steering column, and then have that. I have to get a quick release, have that go into an adapter, and then I can put that steering wheel on all of that, which is honestly some old BS, but that's life sometimes. The other side of it is I'm also going to have a quick release in my car, which is dope. I've never even messed with a quick release before, like except for in some other select situations. Plus, being able to take the steering wheel on and off the car is going to be really helpful because I'm not going to be the only one driving it. Both my brother and my dad are significantly larger than I am. Like, I'm by far and away the smallest person who races in our cohort. And I expect that my brother will probably be putting some laps in on that car too, since our platforms are going to be fundamentally pretty close. And there will probably be some times when one car is running and another car isn't, so having the quick release for the steering wheel is going to be super helpful because it's going to allow us to more easily get in and out of the car, especially if the seat position is not perfect, ingress, egress, all of that. Plus, the car's going to have a full roll cage in it, so that will further impede things. So anything you can do to help make that stuff easier, better. Man, it's just Yap City out here, isn't it? Bet you wish this guy would just shut the F up. If you're wondering why I'm doing the whole self-censorship thing, despite having marked the stream for a significant language, it's mainly because I'm trying to get to a point where I feel comfortable removing that tag, but in order to do that, I've got to actually stop swearing like a sailor. So we're working toward it. It's a work in progress. And for those looking for some family-friendly content on YouTube, I'm sorry I can't help you. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's like a mainly second gear track for this car. Like, you'll never really get anywhere into third. A couple seconds faster that time, that's good. Yeah, it's starting to cramp up a little bit. Sorry, I was looking down at something. What? This thing is so confusing. Why? Why are you doing this? I swear, G. Oh. Family-friendly content, we'll say. And also, yeah, if you guys are on the Twitch side of things, I've already got it set up, so if you just want to use your channel points over by the chat window, a couple sound alerts, basic things, hydrate, stretch out, all that stuff. Trying to build it out, but, you know, baby steps. Sometimes things work, sometimes things don't. We got a 1954 Skyline, I believe it was, the GTB. So that's a step, and we're one step closer. So, we got FF Challenge, we've got MR Challenge, we've got Sport Truck in Beginner League, and then we gotta check all the halls to see what we can and cannot do. So this will be my little bit of a break to check out the one-make races and see what we can do. Aston Martin Carnival. So this looks like it would be just any Aston Martin, effectively. Nothing for Janetta, obviously. Nothing for Bentley. Nothing for Jag. Lotus. I'm sure there's something for Lotus. Lotus Classics. Alright, so if we have a Classic Lotus, then we can go and get ourselves involved in that one. So that's something to consider. MG Festival. I'm mainly going to focus on stuff that I can do pretty quickly here. Mini sports meeting. If we have any of the minis, we can do something with that. So we could use a Lotus Elan or a Lotus Europa. We use a Mini Cooper of any variety. I'm sure that the rest of these probably have nothing in terms of one-make events. If Land Rover had anything, I'd be massively surprised. Oh, Triumph has one. Spitfire Cup. Sure enough. But some of those we can wait on until a little later. And since we're playing the prize car game with a lot of this stuff too, I'm gonna hold off on trying to buy too many things. Because I don't remember what all the prize cars are going to be. I'm not going to worry myself trying to remember what they're all going to be. I'm certain there's nothing there. So it would just be the C8 La Violette. Nothing here, because it's a Gillet Vertigo. Citroën. Citroën. Oh, the 2HP 2CV Classics. Do we have a 2CV on hand? I severely doubt it. Can we buy one? No, we cannot. Peugeot. 206 Cup. The stupidly difficult 206 Cup. I do remember that one. You can thank your friend Raffle Waffle for reminding me. The Renault Alpine Cup, where you can take the A110 or the A310. But we're trying to plan for the future. Nothing for the Berlinette, nothing for Pescarolo, I'm certain. What about our friends in Italy? There's one for the Alfa Romeos. Can we buy either of the GTAs from the shop? We can't buy that one. Nope. You have to win it from somewhere. Can we buy the 147 GTA? Yes. 48 grand. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And it's front-wheel drive, and we probably are going to need it soon, so I think that kind of resolved itself, I guess. So that'll probably be the car that I buy. The 147 GTA. I'm sure there's nothing for Autobianchi. Correct. Fiat. Lancia, Paganini. Man, Pagani, oh my god. Paganis are beautiful works of art. And I'm more of a Zonda guy than a Wyra or whatever the current flavor of the month is. But these things are beautiful, man. And like the newer ones I think aged even better, but like man oh man. Yup. A3 cup, and there's one for the TT. It has to be A3 3.2 Quattro. What color should we buy, y'all? Since there's only one of these that we can buy, we're gonna need it. I'm probably gonna go ahead and buy that 147 GTA just as well. I kind of like the Reed Green. I do, but at the same time, I feel like it's a really interesting color choice. Piedmont Red Pearl actually I think looks good. Toucan Yellow reminds me of my Need for Speed Underground 2 save, because this was the car I used to beat that game for reasons I'm still unsure of years later. But I would go with any one of those three. Even the Mauritius Blue. Mauritius? Mauritius. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna go with the Piedmont Red. It just looks the best to me, unless anyone else has an opinion. Going once. Going twice. And I think that is sold. So we're gonna go ahead and buy ourselves a 1500 kilo Audi A3 with a V6 in it. I don't think we're going to get in this car now, though. I want to see if that TT is still in the showroom, in the used car dealership, because I do kind of want it. How is this modern DTM car only 450,000 credits? That's dumb. These cars, like, obviously they're not the most powerful things in the world, and DTM did get even more powerful. But, like, that's dumb, because those cars go hard as crap. The crazy part is I can afford this, too. Like, I could literally afford this car with no license. Like, I could buy either of these if I felt like it. Anyway. Getting ahead of myself. Oh, you use a TTR touring? That seems like such a cop-out to use a TTR touring car for that. Hilarious, but a cop-out. I'm mainly just looking for stuff that would be, like, with no license class. Fun fact, the A3 never made Audi any profit. It was the only car at that time with a full aluminum frame, and they sold it below their own cost for marketing purposes. That is the kind of thing you would learn in business school, but it's also funny as hell. So I love that. Thank you for putting me on game, because that is exactly the kind of thing that like a manufacturer do. Be like, yo, we're gonna become a loss leader, and we're gonna reap the benefits. Like watch this right here, and then just fail to make any money on it whatsoever. Never came to him. And there's lots of one-make races to hit, but just nothing immediate. There's a 1 Series trophy. Are those both 2004 model cars? I'm guessing. Oh, shit. I was on the brake pedal. Yep, both 2004 model. So you have... Does the 120D weigh more? What is it? 15 kilos. 1330. Oh, okay. That does change the complexion of the purchase a little bit. It's like, I'm sure having all that torque and being able to actually use it does... It probably is still worth it to some extent. But I might just buy the lighter car. It's the kind of person I am. Once again, if you guys have an opinion, voice it now while I figure out what color I want. So this one's going to also be FR. This would have been an interesting car to try and take into FR Championship. But also, who cares? I'm trying to really buy cars I know that I'm going to need for some one-make race at one point or another. That's the rationale. Sonora? No. Havana? Not really. I kind of like that. That's hot. That's hot. I like that. Black. Can't go wrong with black. Sapphire black is not bad. I could also go with... I kind of like more of these colors than I expected I was going to like. They all don't look particularly bad. But I think this one got my attention first, so I'm going to go ahead and go for it. We're going to go for the less powerful and lighter 120i. I'm going to start to use up all that budget that we earned from the 1,000 miles. I didn't buy the 147 GTA yet. I'm pretty confident. So, just thinking about that one. And there's Club M, which is any M badge car. M5, M3, CSL, GTR, M Coupe, etc. Opel. Spopel. And the Speedster Trophy, which is also a notoriously difficult championship to run. That requires an IB license. Red drifts better, you heard. I agree. I agree. It's going to be much more fun. Though we need torque. We need to put some torque back in it. And there's nothing going on with auto roof. City courses. I like it. We got a special stage route 5. Let me double check that statement I just made about the Alfa Romeo. So we have 16 cars. Yeah, I didn't buy it. That's correct. Okay. So I'm going to purchase that. For 50 grand. 50 grand in 2004 money. You gotta be kidding me, man. Also, like, yes, Alfa Romeo, red. I get it. I get it. Not gonna do it, but I get it. I kind of hate most of the other colors, though. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go with the Sterling Gray. Sterling Gray Metallic. And let that be that. Also, I probably missed a lot of stuff rotating in the used car dealership, so I should double check that too before I get too much further in buying cars. Because we're just below 750 grand now. 750 grand dad. Damn it. Yeah, it updated. Ooh, Camaro Z28. For 8 grand. It's not a bad deal. A Prius. and a Golf 4. Also, I'm just saying Prius like that, just to mess with people. Nice whip, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry, I still can't see the YouTube comments super well. I genuinely apologize. It's more of a logistics issue. I'm trying to get so I can see all of them at the same time, and it becomes really problematic from time to time. Yeah, I don't think there's anything doing there. Yeah, I'm gonna probably buy the Corvette. Camaro. Camaro. Ooh, that is a color. That is an color. I'm not really a fan, but we're just gonna roll with it. Fun fact, I did actually own a 4th gen F-body. It was a post-facelift car, so it had the different front lights like the SS in this game. But it had a flat hood, T-tops. Fun car. Fun fucking car. Let's see. Anything of note here? Not really. Nothing that's catching my eye. I also feel like you get more international arrivals in the second used car showroom. Maybe I'm wrong. Wow. I would literally buy the Volvo just to buy the Volvo. I can, and then therefore I will. If I see the Lotus Carlton or Lotus Omega, take it. 377 Opel Omega with a Corvette drivetrain and a Lotus body kit and suspension. Wow. I didn't know that was even a thing. I think I've seen the Carlton in the game before, but I didn't realize that it was derived from the Opel Omega. With a Corvette drivetrain. Huh. How about that? I like it. That's nuts, actually. And it's funny because it's such a stately car, too. I like it. I'm a fan. Anyways, I think that's that on that with the used car dealerships. We spent a lot of time just buying cars, so you'll have to forgive me. Volvo, of course, does not have any one-make races because it'd be kind of silly if they did. It'd be kind of funny to turn the 240 into like a touring car type of thing. That'd be funny as hell. Hyundai, they do have one-make race. Hyundai Sports Festival. Tiburon HTD6, Clicks, Accent Rally Car. I can wait on all of that. Proto Motors probably has nothing. It's their little Spira. In the 90s, it was used for robberies in the UK, and the police couldn't keep up with it. That sounds so real. That sounds like... I don't even know what the American equivalent would be. Because the thing that pops into my mind is a Holden Commodore. But I'm trying to think what our big body equivalent would be. I'm drawing a blank right now. Anyways, I think the only other dealership I've not visited that might have some sort of event or one-make race would be Japan. I've checked everything else for at least something immediate. We already went to Daihatsu, and we did the midget race already. Car's a legend. Hyundai. Civic race, Type R meeting. We'll leave both of those alone. We don't need them right now. We already did the Isuzu Sports Classic. I forgot about that. Nothing we can do with Mazda right now. I already checked that. Mitsubishi? Mirage Cup. We can do that. Cyborg, ZR, and 1400 GLX. I don't think we can buy either of those right now, though, if I'm not mistaken. Oh. I stand corrected. I stand vastly corrected. 9 grand. Well, screw it. Why not? Let's buy ourselves a Mitsubishi Mirage. See what we can do with it. Texas. Oh my gosh, that's so. Oh my god, that's. What's it called? There's a fucking word for it. Excuse me. That's so Malaise era. That's so Malaise era that I think I have to get it. Light car too. 80 horsepower, 87 Turks, 800 kilos. I messed with it. We have bought a lot of cars. We bought more cars than I think we may have had prior to starting the stream. I'm sure Nissan has something. I think we checked it earlier, actually. Marx Brothers, Sylvia Sisters, Club Z, the A-Class one, which we have a car for. I am buying these cars with some level of intentionality. I will say that. I do know that. Subaru. 368 race and Stars of Pleiades. Not going to worry about either of those right now. The K-Car Cup, such as the MR Wagon, Alto Lapin, Wagon R, Wagon R, Alto Works Cappuccino. Suzuki concepts, such as the Concept S2 and the Gixxer 4. And that one doesn't require a license. But I don't think I'm going to be able to get the S2 just off of nothing. And the Vitz race also does not require a license. I remember seeing a Vitz in one of the used car dealerships. So I'm kind of kicking myself right now because I think it might be gone already. I'll go check again. Acura, I'm certain, doesn't have anything. Tomikaira, nothing. ASL, Garaya, nothing. Domu, nothing. Let me check used too. Yeah, there's a Vitz for less than 5 grand. I'll take it. 69 horsepower. Let's flip and go, baby. Let's destroy the game with this one. Alright, cool. So what next? Like I said, we still have stuff to do in the beginner hall, and then we have a bunch of one makes to hit, so. How long have we been going? Hour 30? Let's see. I think... Oh, and I wanted to buy a truck, too. I was not sure what I wanted to do with the whole truck situation. I kind of want to get a taco. If I have time on my hands, Swedish police versus Carlton. Back in the day, Sweden, the video wouldn't count on court. They had to fine you on the spot. If you got away, you got away. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I like that. Yeah, let's try out our little... We bought a lot of front-wheel drive cars, too. I'm pretty confident. So the Barth is not fast enough. The Mirage will not be fast enough. I don't think the Vitz will be fast enough. Our only option is 147. Let's do it. Let's get it. But I did do a really good job of making sure, like, hey, we have all of the tools now to do all the one-make races that we would need to do prior to getting a B license. So let's do it. We will become a legend. Since I'm streaming to YouTube, I'm going to save that. I'm going to look up that video at the end of the stream. But since I don't want the stream to go down immediately, I'm going to save it for the end. Just in case it is a copyright thing. So, I'll get there when I get there. They're going 200, Carlton just says bye. Alright. I am going to go into settings. Mess with this. I think we're almost like 6% completion now. That's good. We're doing some stuff with it. I get the feeling this car can handle it. I'm gonna stick it on B-Spec. Midfield Raceway 2. There we go. Immediately making passes. Make that money. Up to third already. This is exactly what we wanted to see, and we can get our driver more ready on B-Spec while doing our dirty work. Alright, the real question is, can we run down that Mini Cooper S? Oh, looks like they might be faster in a straight line. And our driver had a bit of an off. What a shame. And here I thought we could do it. We tried. Only Smoky Mountain from GT3 is nicer. Yeah, midfield is just classic. Like, I think there's literally a core memory lodged in the back of my head from when I was like 5 or 6 years old, which is too long ago now to speak on. But just like watching in the arcade mode menu, just the cars driving around midfield, it's just stuck in my brain. And like it anytime I see that and I hear the main menu music, it just scratches my brain just that little bit. Couldn't win a 22-point race, man. I'm disappointed. I am disappointed. Yeah, it actually has a pretty interesting amount of power to where like you can really get the front tires to do some weird things if you want them to. Yeah, I think the first car I bought was in fact the GTR. I think I saw it and I was like, this car is less than 10 grand? No way. And then I bought it. And that was that. I also am very used to, like, since the first time I played this game ever in my life, I'd already played GT3. Since, like I said, I had it since I was, like, a little-ass kid, and I was, like, 5 or 6 years old. I always would do that little glitch, not glitch, that feature, it's not a bug, it's a feature, where you could import your GT3 save data, get your B and A licenses automatically, and you would get $100,000 just as kind of a thank you for playing Gran Turismo 3, you know, for being a return customer, effectively. So I would always kind of go in with that little, like, extra bit of kind of cash on hand. And, like, now, this time around, I'm like, bump that. I don't want that, you know? But the other thing is I also think I don't even have any save data on my emulator from those times, so I do have my memory card. I think that has some of that data on there, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a big-ass memory card. I think I copied some of my older stuff over, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's the worst part. Like, I'm driving like crap, too. I'm just stepping on them. Though this car is not amazing from a driving dynamic standpoint. It's got problems. I can think of several ways I can make it better. Several ways I want to make it better. Probably do some stuff with suspension, brake controller. I would not add a lot of power to this car. I would say maybe at most like get it over the 300 horsepower hump. But really from there it would mostly be like suspension and just getting it to be more efficient, aero, making it a fully rounded machine effectively. Cool. All right. There's our 22 points. Yeah, that's a shame. I really thought that we should have been able to get that one on B-Spec, but that's life. Because the one thing I really do like, I really want, is that, you know, if you're doing B-Spec, you can just put it on 3x time and just go from there. It's way easier. No, the interesting one is going to be the MR challenge. I feel like I actually might not have enough for that one. Like, it's actually going to be an interesting race because I think that the car I have is going to be a bit underwhelming, but that's going to make it fun for me, ultimately, to drive it in A-Spec. So, looking forward to that one, and I think that just taking the Clio will be a good time. Also, actually, no, the NSXs I saw were Type Rs, and I know where I can get a Type R from as well, so I won't worry as much about that. I'm also not trying to game the system too much here either. Now it's only a 12-point race. Wow. Killer instinct there. He said, "I'm going to murder you for this position." Yeah, you have to be so patient with this car with no assists. It's kind of stupid. And like, you got good tires on here too. These are sports mediums. Like, there's no reason this car shouldn't be able to work with the amount of tire that it has on it. And it handles well, but like, it just, the front tires cannot keep up with the demand of power that the V6 is putting out. Also, let me know, do you guys think this car is like handsome, not handsome? I'm personally not a giant fan, but I also think it's one of the less, like, there are uglier alphas out there. Yeah, I feel like we're going to get so many cars along the playthrough that would have been very helpful at various earlier points in the playthrough, but that's sort of the point. Is that GT4 is going to like really just play with your emotions a lot of the way through. And a big part of that is that like if you go in an asynchronous manner, it can sometimes be very fulfilling to do so. To just like wait for a few seconds to hold out. Like I think there's a very small chance that like I won't be able to even do the Suzuki concept race prior to getting a license, because I think that might be an unlock requirement with one of the licenses, and or I might not be able to buy that car prior to winning it as a prize car, which might be only after I acquire said license. I'm not certain, but I'll check and figure it out. I'm pretty confident that any of the concept cars or stuff that came or derived from GT Concepts, you can't just buy. You know, you have to win it. Because that's how it would be in the real world. You can't just go into a dealership and say, "Hey, I want to buy this concept car." You know. Old alphas are nicer. It's mid, I guess. Yeah, I'm agreed on that. One of those kind of deals. Like, it's not terrible, but I've seen better. Anyways, if we get this kind of field again, 206 being like the fastest car, Golf, Aventime, Tourist Show, Barchetta, something like that, I feel like B-Spec should be able to handle it, so I'm going to be looking out as we continue. Making our money back. Let's go right on to the next one, not waste any time. Because I don't think we're going to get to sports truck race, but we'll try and do this and then MR. And I think that should be probably about time for the stream, so we'll see. So it's the S16 rather than the Coupe Cabriolet on this one. ST202 Celica. Oh, this is going to be an interesting one. I think we leave it to B-Spec. Leave it to B-Spec. Leave it to B-Spec. Hopefully I don't regret this decision. We'll see. The Celica is honestly the wild card here. I think we've got everyone else covered. Though the S16 might make me eat my words. I'm going to ride on board for this one, though. See what we can see. Go for the overtake. Get him. Kill him. Heck yeah. Because we should be more powerful than the Celica as well, by some ways. Not a whole lot heavier, either. So I think really, yeah, the question mark is going to be the 206. Like, do they have us covered or not? Come on, man. Take a different line. It's not that hard. Yeah, I think we should be okay. We shall see, though, in due time. Now, can you believe how slow these guys are? It sucks. I'm surprised it's still, like, even with this car, it's not like a 1-point race or anything. Like, I kind of expected this car would handily be able to outperform the others. Anyway, super push, my man. Super push. Don't put it in a wall, but otherwise... No! Why are you going so slow? What is going on? Idiot. Sorry, if he throws this one just cuz, I'm going to be so upset. Come on, use some of that straight line speed, please. Damn, we don't have enough for him. Non-driving ass MF. No one likes Hong Kong, not even B-Spec Bob. You're darn tootin'. You're absolutely right about that. I'm gonna check something in the diary after this one. If this is like a 7-point race, I'm gonna be so upset. 10 point race. I'm gonna do the MR challenge all by myself though. I'm not even gonna try and use B-Spec for that one, and I'm content with that. This car does kind of suck to drive, but I suspect it'll be plenty for what we need. I'd love to get it to like handle way more like a proper touring car if I could, but I'd have to throw a lot of money at it. Though not nearly as much money as I spent to buy it, quite frankly. I'd probably do this thing on a budget. Sydney to do a kickflip on the GTA. Front side. Front side, back side. That's what I need to play, some fucking Tony Hawk. That's the real move here. Honestly, I might do that after this is over. Might go get some dinner and then play some Tony Hawk. That sounds fun. Damn it, y'all. Yeah, this thing does suck to drive though. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, this thing actually just is generally not great to drive. Like, it could handle worse, but the way it behaves when you're trying to hustle it is not intuitive. Jeez, just fucking run me into the wall, why don't you? Next year's the anniversary? Damn, 25. The fact that next year is even 2025 is a mind fuck to me, to be honest. How about that? And then Kurtz Kassat was doing a weird... not weird. They're like promoting their 2025 calendar, or their 12,025 calendar. I was like, what the flip does that mean? And it's like, oh no, it's 2025. But also, you know, humans have been around at least since 10,000 BC. It's like, fuck. What a concept. Minimal wheel spin. There we go, baby. I'm a snowboarder, by the way. I don't do that skateboarding mess. No, I like skateboarding a lot. I just can't. I was not blessed with the gift of skateboarding. I tried and I failed. And really, the answer is I just need to keep trying. But like snowboarding, I can get down with that. I don't necessarily do park, but I can get down with snowboarding. Nah, I mean I have no clue. You could be younger than me, so I genuinely have no clue. So I wouldn't dare to. I mean, I've been driving since I was 10, but I've been playing these games since I was like 4. So like anything is possible. Obviously, I didn't get my driver's license until I was 16. I did it all legally. And in the United States of America, we're not breaking any laws. I wasn't driving on public roads. But I've been racing since I was 10. Ooh, it really is about that dinner time. Starting to get hungry. So yeah, I think the MR challenge is going to be the last thing we do for the stream. But I think that getting through most of the beginner hall events is going to be hugely helpful. Because I was like staring down the barrel of this, I was like, why do all the cars I have suck? And they're not going to be good enough to even do the beginner events. And I was just upset about it. But also, like, I earned all that money from doing 1,000 miles, so it was time to spend it. And so it's exactly what we did. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but whatever. Oh, we got the 206 Coupe Cabriolet and the S16. Jeez, like, you can't even see them, but they'll just come up on your quarter panel and just try and run you off the damn road. Good old Grand Valley, too. I miss Grand Valley. It's funny I say that, because like, it was around, you know, all the way up to GT6, so it's not like it's been gone for that long. But I do still miss it. And you know what? This slick makes me want to play GT5. Though I don't have any way to do so at this moment in time. Probably get some sort of software to do so on my gaming PC, but I you know, still have an original PS3, and I still have a copy of the game, more importantly, and a save file and all that stuff. That would be fun to just revisit. Because it's one of those things, I don't know if I would have the energy, time, and balls to do a full run-through of that game again. Just because it takes so long to get to the point where you can finish the final event. So you gotta finish the entire leveling system. And the leveling system is beautiful, but it's also broken. Because they wanted to fix a lot of the issues that became apparent with this game. They're like, oh, well, we don't want you to just be buying cars to be buying cars to be having cars that you shouldn't be having from a leveling standpoint. So they implemented levels. It's like, okay. So the other thing is that you could have a car that starts at a specific level, and then you can just upgrade the crap out of it, so that its performance potential is way higher than the initial leveling system is. It almost kind of works the same way as like how Need for Speed Most Wanted did, where like you can take one of the starter cars and upgrade it to be equally as fast as any one of the ones that you'd be racing against at X moment, but also that's dictated by when you unlock the parts and game balancing. But there's also ways to circumnavigate that. And there are certain cars that are going to do better at given times than others. You know? I guess that's all I'm trying to say. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Slowly making our money back, but we're almost done with this. We got one more race in FF, and then we got MR, and then we're gonna be done. Obviously not done, like we still have plenty of other events to do, and beginner hall, and one make, and all that stuff. But very soon we'll be going to get our B license. So like if I have a good idea of what we're gonna be doing on a given stream, then I'm gonna try and title the stream that, but like today I had no clue what was gonna happen. So I left it alone. Yeah, I'm actually kind of glad I didn't give this one over to B-Spec, because I don't think they would have been able to handle it. They are not about that life, you know what I'm saying? Though we got a rolling start finally. It was kind of cool how they mixed the rolling starts and standing starts in this game. It sucks that after this game they were like, yeah, everything's going to be a rolling start. We're just going to also stagger everyone out so that they're super far away from you. That was stupid. Though if I remember correctly, it depends very, like... whether it's a standing start or rolling start depends very much on the track itself. Like, wow, not even going to leave me any room at all. Depends very much on whether or not the track that you're on. Like, I don't think you would ever have a situation where you'd be doing a standing start on any of Motegi's tracks. But like on midfield, there would be no situation where you'd be doing a rolling start. It would all be standing. If I understand and remember correctly. But you only get the music when you have the you only get the little da 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 jingles when you have that's gonna be a fucking clip. You'd only get those when you would have a standing start, which made them all arguably a lot more special to me. But not quite as special as a Alright. And this should be another easy dub. Though having the Alfa Romeo GT V6 here did change the complexion of this race as well. So I think if my V-Spec driver had to come up against it and handle it, they might have a tough time. Oh, I was supposed to check the diary. That's what I was forgetting to do. So I'll do that before we head into the final, before we head into MR challenge. I'm excited to do that one with the Clio. I think it's going to be an interesting race. So yeah, and we'll call this Season 1 of racing, where we didn't have any license or any infrastructure, we just did everything we could. And it'll effectively be 6 seasons, since there are 5 license classes we can obtain. The thing is, actually driving GT4 with a wheel changes the game so immensely. It's really fun, actually. Like, it handles surprisingly like a modern game, because the way that it feels when you're driving it just on regular gamepad it does feel kind of stiff. It does have a little bit of an issue. And sometimes it is tough to feel when you're on the edge of adhesion, though you do have the rumble kind of giving you a lot of clues to that. But the main thing is that you put a wheel on it, it immediately becomes way more granular to control what the car is doing. With something like this, I feel like I would just be going a lot slower in general because I would not have a good feeling for where the grip is at. But now, like, I can manipulate it just by really, really being granular on the pedals and knowing, like, hey, it's fighting me. I've got X amount of wheel in it. I feel like I'm going to understeer off if I do any more than this. But I can granularly play with the pedals to get it exactly where I want it. I like that. I mess with it. Whew. Goodness gracious. And because of the fact that I'm so enamored with trying to get V-Spec in where I can, I'm not going to be really doing like replays like that on this one. Sometimes they're nice to talk over and just have conversation, but you see how much I'm yapping anyway. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Alright, we got our Mazda 6 concept from 2001. So that's done, dusted, and settled. Just got one more set to go through, so let's go ahead and change cars. We got Suzuka added to World Circuits. We like that. It's always a good time. And we're 5% complete with the game. We got 1,098 A-Spec points, and our B-Spec skill level is at 1,801. Okay, so as far as the days, as far as the day progression, if you do a race, finish it, retry it, that counts as a separate day in progression. And the first car I bought was, in fact, the 1989 Skyline. So we did Sunday Cup, we got the prize car, we did 4-wheel drive challenge, we only got third in that. And then a lot of stuff happened. We weren't winning too many races, then we got a stamp. We got the gold medal for the B license, and then we left that alone. I think it was the first time, like first try I got gold too, was the funny part. Even selling a car is a day, yep, that's in fact the truth. Or having a car delivered is a day. It's a lot of things that constitute a day in here, which is nice. Or buying a car is a day, which I mean, same thing. These things take time, you know? They take time. Lightweight K-Car Cup. And I retired 1,000 miles a couple of times, so I started save scumming it a little bit. And as we were going through across the first month, and then we actually got into the championship, we were having a good time. That's when we started doing the stream. I think it was actually once we started doing 1,000 miles is when I started streaming these in parts. Now we're on part 5. The Giulia Sprint Special was delivered. We bought a bunch of cars like the Miata, the Isuzu, the Midget. And then we started doing some of the one makes. Got some more cars. Midget Cream. That is a statement. And then now we're actually caught up with today's stream, where even though it's the 11th of June, we've done a bunch of in-game days. That's because we purchased a bunch of cars, which progress the in-game day clock by quite a lot. 1,000 miles of little regret. Funny, very funny. Very funny because it's true. Very funny because it's true. Anyway. Moving on, getting out of the Alfa Romeo 147. Now we'll jump to our Renault Clio Sport, which I think we do have to change the oil and do the things on, so let's do all that. Go visit our friend the Oil Man for the last round of races for the stream. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. I can see. I can fight. We got that spit shine on there. I'm gonna go. Oh, he's going from the back this time. He's going in the back door. GT guy's getting a little bit freaky over here. That's such a cool feature, though, that they're paying attention to where the engine's located in the car. Because so many other games have just been like, yeah, we just have the default orientation for the car on the basis of, you know, just like, get us through it. But no, they're like, we got to pay attention to these details. So if it's mid-engine or rear engine, they have you going under the back of the car. And that's cool. That was cool. So let's see what what we're up against, who we're up against, how we're up against. Eagles. 1,000 midget flyer miles. With midget cream. Okay, we got an NSX Type R, ASL Garaya, Type S, Elise Type 72, and an MR2. Pretty stout field, so I think we are actually going to have to fight for it today. And that's going to be the fun part. So we're going to end things with a bang on our sports medium tires. I'm going to turn off all the driving assists because driving assists are, how do you say, overrated. And then we'll go ahead and pack it in for the next one. If you guys can think of anyone who you want to raid in the next 15, 20, 30 minutes, go ahead and figure it out and start putting those names together on a list. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and start perusing through my list of contacts. 87-point race. We like those. We win those. These are healthy ones, and these are not ones for B-Spec to be trying to mess around with. Not right now. But I'm glad that we're at least trying to get the B-Spec skill up for these guys, too. I had a feeling he was going to cut me off, so I backed out of it. We got more power than you. Bye-bye now. I don't know if we needed fourth gear there. I think we could have just kept it in third. Oh, we got a weird texture thing going on where the inside of the NSX windshield is green for whatever reason. Which I guess is canonically not super far from accurate since glass is in fact green. Alright, they have slightly more power than me. I'm gonna have to fight for it. At least the other NSX is not super far up the road. Okay, this thing actually has some interesting driving dynamics. It is not particularly well sorted, but it does have good basic characteristics. Start using them driving lines now and actually start acting like we know what we're doing. Alright, and then we're on the final lap, and we still have not passed the lead car yet, so we gotta work for it today. We gotta work for it today, and that's gonna be the fun part about the MR challenge, is that we gotta work for it. And use our racing lines and understanding of technique to actually do something today. Yeah, I refuse. I'll do what I have to do to win, damn it. Dirty driving. He was dirty. Dirty driving. It was me. I did it. Alright, 250 Hearse purse. Yeah, I need to eat something. I wonder what we're going to get for winning this. I honestly don't remember half the prize cards in this game. But that's part of the fun. That's part of the fun. The crazy part is we're really not going to get a whole lot further in terms of like actually progressing through professional events and getting to finishing GT World Challenge for quite a while. It's gonna take us a hot minute. Our quote season 2 is going to consist of a lot more time just going around doing more one makes and event hall stuff. Event hall stuff is going to probably consist a lot more. Is going to comprise a lot more of our time. All right, I think we're actually going to be in better shape for this one. Should be an easier race in terms of points. 73 compared to 80 something on the last one on the beginner course. Plus, this is a much more technically led course, so I think we're gonna have fun. This is Autumn Ring reverse, right? I think so. It's funny because GT4 is my first introduction to Autumn Ring, but Autumn Ring is definitely like a very, very classic GT track. Oh, he's still there. Still there. Still there. Clear. Nice. Oh, almost spun out and hit the wall. Good save, though. Damn good save. That was not intentional. I didn't expect him to break like that there. Because he obviously didn't need to. He wasn't ready for it. Speed Star. It's kind of nuts that GM and Lotus were so tightly connected in terms of what they were doing at various points, particularly in the 90s and aughts. Because I didn't even really think about it. And I mess with what Lotus does and who they are and their ethos. And I'm a GM head just by association. I was born into it. But I wouldn't change that for the world because the Church of LS is a great church to go to. Jump in the curbs. So I'm a fan. And I think by that logic, I think I'm going to try and buy a little bit more into the Lotus methodology. Because where I live, I can't get an Opel Speedster, but I probably can get a second-gen Elise. That'd be kind of fun. I would do it. Is this the second race in the series, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, it is. Yeah, man. And I don't think I ever really appreciated, like, we knew this game looked amazing back in 2005. I don't think I ever appreciated precisely how amazing this game looked in 2005. Because, like, even on modern hardware, this stuff looks pretty good. The only thing you really notice is just, like, the aliasing and pixelation in some very specific cases. But it looks clean. It looks almost like third-gen stuff. You can see why they're like, yeah, actually, when I think about it, we're just going to port our standard models from GT4 over to GT5 because they were pretty high fidelity. They were definitely some of the best looking models in the business at this time. You had people on the Xbox 360 and whatnot, and this didn't look super far removed. It had people really excited to see what would happen when, you know, Gran Turismo was on the PS3 hardware. And we got to see with Prologue that it really was still the best in the business. But we didn't get a proper GT game for like another 5 years after this game. Yes, I do know there's an HD mod for this. I will probably get around to installing that. I don't want to do Spec 2 right away. I'm going to leave Spec 2 for another entire playthrough. But I do think that for the next stream, I'm going to try and get the HD mod and HUD texture packs and all that stuff installed so that it'll look even that little bit nicer. But I still marvel at just how good it looks. Just natively. Just natively. I do have the game up-resed a little bit, but even with just like a mild up-res, just from the PS2 side, it looks fantastic. Alright, New York might be a little bit more challenging, but since most of the cars are Lotuses or Lotus-I, we should be okay, because we're going to have them beat on power. Matter of fact, it's a 19-point race, so that's even better. Heck, I'm tempted to say maybe B-Spec should do this one. Should we try and give this one to B-Spec? Do you think we can do it? I think we can do it. Let's try it. Hopefully we don't regret this decision. Because beating this Clio up ahead might be a problem. Wow, really? Just rude like that. Yeah, maybe this was a mistake. Get in there. Yeah, because the main thing is the straightaways, and we haven't really seen any of the straightaways yet. Come on, man. Get down there. Get in there. Show me your moves. Show me your moves, MFer. Ah, you almost had it. You were so close. Good overtake. Yeah, steady game, steady game. I don't think we have anything for the Esprit. Just throw it down the inside. Do what you gotta do. Do something with it. You gotta be kidding me. Can't even beat someone in the same damn car. Yeah, this is kind of done for, but I'm gonna let him finish the race at least so he can get the credit. What a shame. Well, if you want it done right, you gotta do it yourself. You know what to say. Just gotta get down there and get them on the brakes. Should be easy. Especially if I'm trying to take each other out. Like that. It's funny because even like the button maps, like I'm not even on a like contemporary wheel for the PS2. I'm on my Thrustmaster T300. Even the button maps like were exactly the same back in 2005 as they are currently on like the modern Gran Turismo. Like everything is roughly the same. Look back key is still the same look back key. I think the nitro key is still the same nitro key. Some of the stuff is different, like you still use select to change view as opposed to square. It's all like fundamentally perfect. I wasn't sure if I got tagged there by him or if it just pulled me out. I think it might have just been a driver error thing. I might have just sucked. I might just suck, you know? I think that might be a very real reality that I had to wrestle with. Still early on the brakes. Yeah, this car still really does not have a whole lot of power to get the tire disrupted, but I think if we were on road tires, it'd be different. Ah, shit. Well, I ate that K-rail. That would be my day done otherwise. But I wanted it. And like trying to make the races, like to a certain extent, like I want them to be as close as they possibly can be. And they aren't all going to be like fun or interesting in that way, but like I do want them to at least be close. So I want to try and go for those max HSEC points. Like usually 100 is my sweet spot where like, okay, I can still do something to it, get the job done. So I think that going up to like 130 or so might be even tougher. 130, 140. I want to try and like get consistently to a point where like I can say if it's 120, I can win it, and I know that. But it's going to take some more time to adjust and learn, and understand exactly what I want from this physics engine. A little better on the brakes that time. It's going to be really weird to drive this game once we get into race cars. I feel like one of the biggest things that old GT does well but doesn't do amazing is like the race cars feel like superheroes, but also I think it's because they have slightly unrealistic characteristics in how they kind of handle braking and downforce. But with that said, I think it'll be very interesting once I actually put the wheel on it. Anyways, I tried to do B-Spec there. Didn't quite work. Still got third. He still got third. Does the skill go up even if they don't win? Or is it only when they win? It went up. I think it was 1822 and now it's 1844, which... not meaningful, but I mean, hey, it's something. 2 more races, y'all. 2 more races and then we're going to go ahead and shut it on down. I think I know exactly who we're gonna raid. We'll see. We'll wait and see what everyone's doing, how everyone's feeling. Oh hey, we get to do a freaking standing start. 26.08.2. Car barely spun up the tire. It immediately dug. It dug like dig. It dig like dug. Ooh, the block. We're also on the 90 circuit, where the handful of chicanes. It's funny, sometimes the AI are like, why'd you brake so early? I'm like, I didn't? I checked up because the rest of the field had to check up? You maniac? It's because I try and race too clean these days. I should just be trying to bump into the back of people like that. They're just AI. They're not going to feel it in the morning. I might. But not for their sake. Meanwhile, you're probably just hearing things falling off of my sim rig. And that is okay. We are still in good shape. Hit the limiter there. Also, they are running me down. Mercifully, we have a braking zone, but they were running me down. And on this big, long straightaway, I think they will have an opportunity to do exactly that, to run me down all the way. So they are pretty far out. Catching, but still pretty far out. Still early. Still early on the brakes. Thought I was going to be kind of late. But I didn't get too much of a flash from the suggested gear indicator, and that's usually like a good sign of, hey, you should be braking soon. I miss Old Fuji. Like, this is like one of the last places I got to really actually drive the track in a sim. And New Fuji is like a very fun track for me. I do like it, but Old Fuji just, there's something different. It hits different. There's something different about it. It gives me old school pole position vibes in ways that I could never ever define. And I don't feel like I ever really need to. Like, I just appreciate it for that exact reason. It's just classy in its own understated kind of way. It's a fast track. It's a fast track. It's a wonderfully uncomplicated track. It gives me Willow Springs in a lot of ways, but with a couple extra safety features added in, at least in this guise. If you're talking about the 1980s form, then the track is really just super uncomplicated. Almost exactly like Willow Springs. All right. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, we got a lot of good progress done on this one. We bought a lot of cars, but also we got a lot of good game progression done and understanding in terms of like what is going to happen next to really make this playthrough sing. Because like after this, the only other race that I have to do prior to getting, or the only other main event hall race I have to do after this is, don't try it at home, whatchamacallit. Why can I not read today? I can only see it on my phone. It's not really easy to freaking read up here. Komorizaki, thank you so much for the follow. I need to get my monitor situation a little bit more dialed in. But thank you guys so much for supporting the stream. It really does mean a lot. Trying to keep shit going is not always easy, being cheesy. But you know what? It's fun to drive these cars. The only other race in the main hall we had to do this after this for a beginner hall is the sports truck race. Everything else is just about done. Spider Roadster is still there, but we need a B license for that. So we're going to do all the other stuff that doesn't require a license first, and then we're going to go get our B license. I think there will be one event that will be soft locked out of because we won't be able to buy either of the cars that we would need to participate in it. You would get those later in the playthrough. But beyond that, I think we'll be able to do everything else. That'll be like one-make races that wouldn't require a license. And it's not a long list. It's actually a pretty healthy list of stuff. Though I don't think I checked all of the US manufacturers. I may have, I may not have. But I don't recall having checked. Oh, the spin. The spin. Why am I letting them go? I don't know. It's the right thing to do, y'all. The right thing to do was to let them go. Would it be fucked up if I said I still feel like I could beat them? Because I do genuinely still feel like that. I genuinely feel like they ain't shit. Sportsmanship? Thought that was dead? Yeah, it's just in the ICU with chivalry. Don't worry, it's still around, still kicking. Besides, look at the next interstitial. It was 9.9 when I crossed that timing line. When I cross the finish line, I guarantee you the gap is going to be less than 6 seconds. You know what that tells me? They ain't shit. Besides, if I don't practice having to deal with that stuff in real time, I'm going to be a worse online racer for it, so why not just deal with it? That's what I try to tell people, like, if you make mistakes, like, just learn to live with them, because that's life, and also, like, it'll make you better. It'll give you more incentive to not. Okay, I gotta slow down a little bit. You said, did I see the new Spec 2 mod? Yes, I have. I was actually looking a lot at it today. I saw that Broadbent was doing a lot of content surrounding it. I definitely want to mess with it, but for this specific playthrough, I'm actually not going to... I'm going to leave it vanilla. I'm not going to do anything with Spec 2. I'm just going to have it be original. I know that's not spicy or fun or anything, and there's a lot of cool content that they added in Spec 2, including challenges, races, events, things like that, randomizers for prize cars and whatnot. Okay, don't let the car get away from you this time, because it will do that. But I think I'm going to keep it vanilla, because for me, I've never 100%ed GT4 on my own, so I want to actually do that first. And then I think probably at some point, either next year or even maybe the year after that, I'll come back to this on Spec 2 version and then probably just do it again. But there's other games that I want to play between now and then too. So I'm going to build on the fact that there's a ton of hype around Gran Turismo 4 right now thanks to the Spec 2 update. Not update, but mod. And then I'm going to go play some other games that are kind of more single-player progression-based. Oh, okay, I got some work to do. I got some work to do if I want to win this one. Do not have a lot of corners to make up that ground. Gotta set some gold times. It's almost like the first race in the MR Challenge. But yeah, I see it. I like it. And I am going to probably implement some of the HD texture packs and stuff that have already been released for the game on this playthrough, but I'm not going to do the Spec 2 install until later, because actually it's on a different version of the game, I believe, as well. I believe it uses the online beta build, which is on a single layer disk, versus this, which is a dual layer. Anyways, that's MR Challenge done. I think we're looking like we're in good shape. And we bought a lot of cars. We have a lot of progress done. And I'm pleased with that. Nope, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. Yes. Yeah, it'll be fun. So I think we'll go ahead and mess around with a lot of that stuff. What do we get? The Lotus Esprit Turbo HC from 1987. Cool. So that is that on that. We got a Lotus. I was talking about Lotus. We got a Lotus. I like it. Is there anything we can do in terms of one make with that? Let's go take a quick look-see. So there are some one-make races. Unfortunately, I can't use it for Lotus Classics or the Elise Trophy. So we are, as the kids would say, assed out. And we cannot buy any of these from here. They might pop up in used car dealership, but we cannot buy them from the dealership. They are too especial. Speaking of used car dealership, though, let's see what's up. So our lineup did get updated. Anything else that we might need? Doesn't look like it. Looks like that's all mostly the same stuff. Ooh. The Mirage showed up. Actually, I think I'm gonna buy this. This is way better than the old Mirage. It's only $6 grand. That's kind of a deal and a half. And you're like, why the heck are you buying a Mitsubishi Mirage? Because A, one of my family members has one, and B, I actually need it for one of the one-make races, so... That Mirage is significantly better than the one I already have, so I'm actually thinking about selling that one, but we'll see what happens. The Legnum. Mitsubishi Legnum. I don't even know what that means. I like the Legacy. Legacy is a car that I really appreciate. I would consider buying one, but it would have to be for the right price. Anyways, I'm not seeing anything that I really need. Wagon R could be useful. That is not a pretty car. Even so, I think I'm going to buy it. That looks like an uglier Pontiac Grand Prix, and I didn't think that was such a thing could exist. Oh, there's a TME in here too? Damn. Oh, but with no stripe. Pass. Great price though. That's a deal, but pass. You're probably wondering why I'm buying all these crap boxes. Simple fact is I need them. For this thing or that, you know, at one point I'm gonna need them. Plus, I'm also like so much in that way now. Like the way I play GT games is like, oh, if I have money to burn, which I kind of feel like I have money to burn right now, I just buy whatever I feel like buying, whatever pops up in the rotation that looks interesting. So if I see things in the used car dealership that look interesting, I buy them. If I see things that I need, I buy them. Which is not how capitalism works, but you know, we're here. Whew. I haven't even checked the first used car showroom. I don't see anything that's particularly worthwhile. Used car showroom 2 tends to be my go-to. TVR V8S is a very interesting car. But that's too expensive for a car with 220 horsepower. Way too expensive. It's not that heavy, but it's way too expensive. Anyways, I'm starting to get stupid hungry, so I'm gonna flip off of here real quick. I'm gonna... Swedish police versus Carlson, that's what it was. We're gonna check that out really quick, because why not? There's a little documentary piece. I'm gonna watch that later, but I just want to see this. So some dash cam. That fool's way up the road. So they gotta be doing about 120 Ks. They're rolling up on him. He's passing a lot of people. You know, 2-lane carriageway. Dang, he just blinked out of existence like that. Like I looked up and he was gone. Now they're doing 180. You can see how far up the road, like, maybe it's hard to see. You can see how far up the road he is. It's just fucking gone. Gone like Jingba. And they're doing 200K in the police officer's vehicle. But he just pieced out. Like, they can't even see him anymore, I don't think. He might be that speck all the way up there on the road. Now they're slowing down. Like, they don't have anything for it. Plus, they gotta slow down for traffic, obviously. Poor bastards. So the Omega was manufactured in Brazil for Chevrolet.
I got so frustrated with ads on YouTube, I was watching more commercials than content. Privacy ad blocker was a game.
Anyway, good stuff. Good stuff on that. So I think we're going to go ahead and call it there, get our raid started. If you guys are on Twitch, just hang around. We will have everything moving on over to our friend Fo Jizzle. He was over here in the stream earlier. He was supporting us. We're going to go ahead and support him right back. If you guys are on YouTube, I'm still learning all that infrastructure, so apologies, but we'll just go ahead and click the stream off. But thank you guys for being here, being around. Till next time, take care, race fair. My name is Blake, and I'll be